Risks and issues. This is not a project management session, but trust me, if you understand risks and issues properly, your life will be better when it comes to your corporate journey. See, understand one thing. While working in corporate now for 23 years and been with PMI for a very long time, I have learned one thing is that project management lingo works very well. That also puts you in a place where you can now, people start seeing you in a very different perspective. All right. So that's what management jargon could be. But I'm talking about risks and issues here. So what exactly is risk? Risk are something that you foresee might turn up into an issue. So for example, the current situation that's going on, there is a risk that the flights might get cancelled. International travel could be a problem, for example, right? So that's a risk. Now you make sure that you list down all such risks. Risks are thoughts of your team members that if this doesn't happen, if that doesn't happen and stuff. So it starts with an assumption in many cases. So we say that we'll do this work in 4 months, assuming that the code is in place, assuming that the scope is there, assuming that all the resources we get, right? Now, when that assumption doesn't hold true, that converts into a risk. And then when the risk is high and then you mitigate it, and if that doesn't work, that converts into an issue. Okay, so that's how the system works. Now, what you have to take away from here is that you raise risk. Now, risks are on technical, risk could be on business, risk could be on resources, whatever it is. Make sure that you give a mitigation plan. So what's a mitigation plan? That if the war goes on further and the risk is that we will not be able to fly anymore, so we'll not be able to do XYZ work. So what's the mitigation? In case of that happens, the mitigation is that we will get on to Zoom calls more often, and we will try and meet in some neutral country if possible, something like that. Or we'll just go online, right? So that's your mitigation. So once you mitigate, that's how you do it, right? And now imagine that things go worst and actually the risk happens. So now the risk becomes an issue. So now the issue is that, things are not working, planes are not flying. All right, we already have a mitigation plan, so let's do it. So when you talk in this manner, when it comes to your bosses, your discussions, your meetings, you will also be looked upon as somebody who is knowledgeable. So go for it. Risks and issues. There's a lot of videos, like literally a lot of videos on internet. Just understand the concept of it. That's all you need. And whichever tool you're using, use that. Cheers.